Hello guys, my name is BlownTyre, otherwise known as Will, and today I'm bringing some Battlefield 4 gameplay. And in this gameplay I'm actually going to be, first of all, actually talking about Google Plus, and why Google is actually trying to implement it into YouTube, and actually what is Google Plus and how big is it compared to other social media sites such as Twitter and Facebook, and smaller ones such as Instagram and Tumblr, and just sort of varying it between each of them. I'm going to be reading off some stats and facts about how it is in the market, as well as some of my personal opinions. However, you always need to bear in mind when it's coming from anyone like me that some of it is opinion, so don't always take it to heart. However, some you should take to heart. So the gameplay, just briefly, the gameplay you're seeing is going to be some South China Sea. It's from the campaign. I was playing this a little bit earlier on today, and I just thought this was actually quite a nice go in the attack boat especially. So I just thought I'd show you and just, yeah, sit back and enjoy. So to start off, let's jump right into this and I'm just going to break down what Google Plus is. So Google Plus is a social networking and identity service. It's owned by Google Incorporated, so the people that own YouTube own other things such as that. Google has not described it as a social networking site. However, it's described it as a social layer. What Google means by that is it's a sort of a website which enhances many of Google's other online properties such as YouTube. That's why you have the dodgy comments, and I'm going to come back to them that much later on in the video. And it enhances most of Google's properties, as I said, and it's not just simply a social networking site. It's the second largest social networking site in the world after Facebook. Facebook has 540 million monthly active users. Google Plus has around 300 million. However, that is actually flawed. It isn't the truth. And you may be wondering, well, it's the truth, obviously. It's on the internet, and Google never lost. But the thing is, if you've had a YouTube account or a Gmail account or some sort of Google account, you automatically get Google Plus. And a YouTuber like me, I need Google Plus to comment back to you guys and reply. So that sort of makes me use Google Plus. So that sort of thing is a bit flawed. I'm not saying there aren't 300 million that don't use it. I reckon that there aren't as many as what was actually said. So just thought I'd actually say that, because that is something which really does annoy me when it isn't actually a true representation of something. So I'm just going to run through some other facts and statistics. 26% of mobile internet owners who use their devices to access social media visit Google+. That actually isn't very much. If you think about other social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Blogger, other Tumblr or other ones, I don't usually do lots of social networking. But those are others. Think about the other 74%. There are a lot of people that nowadays have smartphones, tablets, crossbreeds between them. Phablets, I believe they're called. And I believe, just using some common sense, if there's round about near enough twice as many people using Facebook monthly, there is going to be around near enough 50% that are using Facebook and Twitter to see Facebook and Twitter on their smartphones, phablets or tablets. So that's something which Google Plus really is struggling in, the fact of getting new people in and actually making them be active, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not active. As far as I'm concerned, it confuses the fuck out of me, and to be brutally honest, it's appalling. Yeah, so I'm also going to talk about some social media logins. So if you're wondering what social media logins are, that's when you are going in and it says you can either log in by making an account or you can log in using Facebook or whatever. when doing travel and hospitality brands, so if you're looking to book a holiday or look to buy a hotel, not buy a hotel, it's bloody ridiculous. If you're looking to buy a room for a hotel, 57% log in using Facebook, compared to 26% for Google Plus and 9% for Yahoo. That is actually quite a big disparity. If you think about it, Facebook is massive, and it's got such a massive outreach that it really does beg the question, why would you go Google Plus? And as far as I'm concerned, I don't personally go Google Plus. I don't like Google Plus, and I probably never will. But it's that Google are trying to make up for what they've lost, what they couldn't do. They thought that using a sort of a unique way of actually turning it on the head of a social media site, it'd work. It doesn't work. I'm not a massive fan of it. It's really, really frustrating trying to log into YouTube, trying to log in into your Gmail account without having some pop-up that says, oh, you need to log in using Google+. And it's like, fuck off. It really doesn't matter about Google+, to be honest. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have any features which I prefer over other social media sites. I mean, if you want to chat to people, you have Facebook. If you want to video call someone or voice call someone, you've got Skype. And the Facebook and Skype are interlinked already. So that sort of begs the question, why would you go for a third one? Nah, you go for a third one, it sort of isn't really what I'd call interesting. I'd rather just go for limit as many down as possible, because it just makes it easy for you to remember passwords, things like that. That's something which I'm a fan of. Remember, just small, sweet sites. It's just easier for you to go and just do your work on 1 to 2 or maybe in 3 sites. Just no more than 3, because it all gets really confusing. So if you're coming back to the logins and all that, astonishingly, 79% of social media logins by online retailers are with Facebook. So this is coming back to logging in with a social media account, compared to 22% for Google Plus and 5% with Yahoo. So it's much better than Google Plus. It's sort of, Facebook, it's sort of ahead of Google Plus. It's better than Yahoo, I'll grant you that. I mean, I've never used Yahoo, and you see, that's how much, I know, so I'm moving away from that. 41% of UK consumers are familiar with Google+. That is, I'd say, not very broad. That is not a lot. 41% of the UK population is only round about 30 million. And consumers, I bet it was surveyed, and then it's just multiplied to make how many people there are in the UK. So I personally wouldn't take that really with a grain of salt. On the other hand, though, 41% of online business to consumer marketers use Google Plus, compared to 39% for business to business. So what that means is, if you are just a specific online retailer and you don't have a physical shop presence, you're more like, using Google Plus will mean that you can actually outreach more people, and therefore just get in contact and help share your brand as a whole. And that's something which I do really actually give credit for on Google's part. It actually allows sort of a quicker way to do that. And I'm going to shake Mr. Google's hand. I don't know his name, but I think it's Larry Page. Well done. You've produced a good product in that aspect. However, I wouldn't take Google Plus over Facebook, Twitter, other things, other social media outlets such as Instagram as well, like that. So that's something which does need to kind of be pointed out by me, and I thought I'd actually point that out now. Furthermore, Google Hangouts are actually pretty cool. I'm actually not gonna say it's the best thing since sliced bread, because it isn't. I'll admit that. But you've had you've got companies which actually use Google Hangouts regularly. You've got Barack Obama's used Google Hangouts to communicate with normal people, and well, you can't argue with that. It's trying to get in contact with the people. WWE, yes, I know, WWE, fake, innit? WWE uses Google Hangouts regularly to communicate with their fans and allows them to talk to subscribers and not subscribers, superstars, and superstars are named for the talent. So it allows them to talk to superstars and actually just get them talking, so it becomes much more of a close knit, nice sort of atmosphere. However, my time and my brain is absolutely frazzled. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I hope you didn't mind the actual different change in gameplay. It was something brand new for me. I mean, it's one of the first campaign. I think this is the 3rd mission out of 7. I haven't been recording the first 2. It's just trying to get a little bit of idea and just a little bit different gameplay. So, thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Leave a like, dislike, whatever you think this deserves. If you want to see me do a playthrough of the campaign sometime, I'll happily do that. So, yeah, just leave that down in the comments below. So, my name has been the BlownTyre, otherwise known as Will, and I'll see you next time out on the battlefield.